Number one, guys, welcome back to Evening Chats. Number two, I'm back from Europe, you guys, and we have some episodes coming out, to say the least. We got a ton of new ideas. It's going to be pretty sweet. As you can see, got a new guest on the podcast, Mr. Hunter Hart.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for letting me come on the show, obviously.
Of course.
I think I'm going to stick around for a bit. We got some ideas flowing. We got some new videos ready. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're excited. We're so excited to have Hunter join us on the podcast. As you can see, Elias is not here tonight. Unfortunately, he's at home dealing with some personal issues. But we hope to have him back for the next episode. So look forward to that. It'll be out sometime this week, maybe next week. But guys, we're pumping them out. Hopefully 2 a week. And so today's topic, Mr. Hart, is
noticing beauty in the ordinary and not taking things for granted.
Absolutely. And as I was in Europe, I felt like I had such a narrow scope on things just because I hadn't left the country, like, ever. I went to Canada I've been to Canada like twice, and that's really not much of a change from the US. So to go to a completely different country on the other side of the world, and several different countries, and to get a taste of the culture and just to see all that's there, I mean, it really put into perspective how focused and comfortable I had gotten with my lifestyle here in America. And I realized I had taken so much of it for granted, like driving my car every day, having my favorite breakfast, Gold Peak teas, sunflower seeds. I mean, a lot of it's not there. And you're like, wow, I got so comfortable just getting stuff every day, making runs to the gas station, going to hang out with friends. And it made me realize I'm not going to have this my whole life.
Yeah.
And I was away from my family. I mean, my mom was with me. She was the group leader, but my dad and brothers were home for most of it. They also came, but I realized, I'm not going to have my family in the coming years because going to college, I'm going to be living on my own, and it really put in perspective how I'm growing up, and I'm not going to have some of these things.
Yeah, for sure.
As I go on in life. So Hunter kind of he had a great example of how a narrow scope kind of can harm you. So
like, for an example, like driving to work every day, like you go on the same roads, you see the same scenery every single day, and you don't like notice the little things. Like, if you just glance, it looks the same, but if you really look into it, it's different every single day. And I think a lot of us fall into like some sort of social matrix, if you will, and just kind of sleepwalking through life, like just doing the same thing over and over again and not really noticing the differences that there is every single day.
Falling into a rhythm.
Yeah.
And that can be, in some ways it can be good, but in a lot of ways it can be bad too. And I think, and to kind of build on his example, that guy who was driving to work could get in a car crash one day and be paralyzed. And I think that guy would realize, wow, I took my legs for granted. I took the ability to walk for granted. And I think we fail to realize how fortunate we are to be healthy people in good health, and to not have disabilities, and to just be fortunate for what we have in our country at that, like how free we are in our country.
Yeah.
And like you said, we were talking about this earlier, just all these other countries, and going to Europe really put this into perspective too. I've said that a lot, but that's kind of life. It's all about perspective. But there's some countries just don't have the freedoms that we have.
Yeah. And I think like us as Americans need to be like more conscious of our surroundings and like really understand what's going on like around the world, and like looking at the things like we get upset about and compare it to these like other third world countries, and really like compare our problems and see if our problems are worth having a fit over. And just really overlooking the luxury, I guess, that we have.
And to build on the thing he said, things we get upset over. We were talking about this a couple days ago with some buddies, and we get upset over the littlest things sometimes, and we just let it ruin our day, our week, maybe our month. We just let this tiny thing just absolutely crush our time, I guess. And when we look back on it, like maybe a year in advance, it's like, wow, that was stupid. That was really stupid. But it just goes to show how these problems that we think are so big really aren't big at all compared to other problems across the world. And that ties back into how we take what we have for granted. And
yeah, I think we're all living, we're all in this huge thing we call the world, and everyone has a different life, and you got to step back and take a look at how lucky you are to have the life you have, and just really not take it for granted.
Absolutely. So with that, guys, I think that'll about wrap up our episode for this evening, and we hope to catch you on the next episode. Hopefully Elias will be back, and yeah, that about sums up the night. Any last words?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course, and catch you on the next one. So peace. But you just need to
be thankful, I think, is what you're looking for.
Fuck, I'm gonna cut this out. I had a stroke. I had a freaking stroke. I'm gonna cut this out. A little bit new of a recording location, Hunter's basement. Graciously offered it to. I'm gonna restart this. I should have introduced you first. It's just really goes to show, and it just goes to show that these little things that we consider huge aren't as big as they. Okay, I'm gonna start this. Okay. Lock in, Roxy. But it really just goes to show how